And this is going to lead us into understanding the consumer mindset. And this is one of the things we specialize in because this, again, is based on biology. If there's anybody who disagrees with this, raise your hand. A consumer can choose you, somebody else, or nobody at all. Or D, all the above. Does anybody disagree with that? A lot of years we haven't had one hand go up yet. Eventually it's going to happen. That's going to create a whole other set of conversation at that time. So basically everybody in here disagreed that you're a B2C business that has consumers that enter your practice every single day that have tendencies that apply regardless of whether they're in your business or somebody else's. Their buying tendencies, based on biology, they go through a 3-step process. You, me, everybody in this room, anytime you purchase something. Orthodontic treatment, flat screen TV, vehicle. List goes on, right? The first thing that happens in your mind is you have to understand what it is you're buying, what it is that's being presented to you. That's step number 1. Until that point, if you don't understand it, you cannot value what it is you're buying. So if you understand it, only at that time can you move on to the second portion of what's going on up here and convince yourself to value it. And as you know, when you buy things, regardless of what it is, you need to value it, otherwise you're not going to purchase it, or you're not going to be happy that you're purchasing it. Only at that time does your brain convince yourself that you can afford it. And that's why it happens all the time where somebody enters your practice, or another one, and says, I can't afford that. Let me think about it. I need to talk to my wife or my husband. Everyone's heard it. Everyone's heard it. Meanwhile, that same person leaves, goes to Best Buy, and drops $4,000 on a 4K screen, flat screen TV. Happens all the time. You guys know it does. Happens all the time. And it's because they understand value and therefore convince themselves they can afford the TV. However, that process did not happen when you presented them the treatment. All the consumer is, again, summarizes it. Their attitudes and behaviors in the marketplace. It's whatever they believe about your business. You can think you're the best orthodontist on the planet. You can think you have the most highly trained staff. We can think we're the best on the planet. Doesn't matter. All that matters is what you guys think of us and the words you spread around the community about us. And same with your patients. You can think you're the best in the world, but it only matters what that patient is saying in the community, because that's what counts. That's what counts. And that's what this backs up. The great Steve Cook, a brand is no longer what we tell the consumer it is. It's only what the consumers tell each other it is. All that matters. So you have to, going back to the high-level CEO and acting like the best entrepreneurs on the planet, find ways to innovate and do things in your practice every day that nobody else does. Things that you would never even think about many times. How do you put value on those things to make sure that they're purchasing from you, calling you, instead of somebody else down the street? Or, because in that multiple choice earlier, B, where it said they could choose somebody else, remember that somebody else doesn't have to be another healthcare practice, not another orthodontist. It can be the flat screen TV. They can choose to spend their money anywhere they want. So you have to present more value in the mind of the consumer to make sure they understand what it is and therefore can value what you're offering.